Has this been the craziest summer in American politics ever? First, Donald Trump trounces Joe Biden in a debate. Then Democrats pressure Joe Biden to drop out of the race, and he refuses. Next up, Trump is very nearly assassinated by a deranged gunman. Then, Biden actually does drop out, and Kamala Harris is coronated as the new Democratic candidate. And here we are. We've added some VPs to the mix, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. But now, Blaire White, a YouTuber and host of the Blaire White Project podcast, joins me now for a conversation about what is even going on in these exciting times. Welcome to Rising, Blaire.
Thanks for having me.
Great to be with you. So let's talk about how the media is covering the events of the last several weeks. I think it's so interesting that we got, for a brief time, a truly skeptical and scrutinizing and hostile media with respect to Joe Biden when they turned on him and decided, oh my God, we've been lied to, or we know we've been complicit in a lie that now the American people see for themselves that this man has declined, is cognitively incapable of being president in the future, maybe not even right now, and has to go. And they were relentlessly hostile. And now he's gone, and it's Kamala Harris, and what we've seen, this fawning coverage of her, and then so far the coverage of Walz has also been like weirdly positive, all this kind of dad stuff. What's your take?
Yeah, the Biden stuff to me is interesting because it was really obvious in 2020, in the election leading up last time. I felt like it was just an open sort of thing on the right that was talked about. Obviously, the reason why he was nicknamed Sleepy Joe, of course, by Trump was because he had these cognitive, impairments back then. And, it was due to age. And, there's theories that it's Alzheimer's, and that may be true, but it's been a lie for a long time now. So the fact that it finally took actually a live debate for the other side to see it. I think that oftentimes these lies, and we're talking about the president's fitness being the lie, is just so compartmentalized that perhaps there genuinely was a huge, segment of powerful people on the left who were blindsided by the debate as well. But more people than, you think probably knew, of course. And it was a cover up. And Kamala was a big part of it. The fact that she skyrocketed to Obama #2 is actually quite disturbing. It feels very dark in a way that her entire sort of essence in politics right now is media constructed. I tweeted earlier, or posted on X, I'm starting to not use the word tweet anymore, that she is a media construction, and it's true. She went from the least popular VP in memory, for me at least, and now she's on top. And I've even seen really prominent lefties like Mark Cuban actually acknowledge and tweeted recently that she went from worst to first. And it's like they're just missing that final link to be like, okay, so why are people suddenly liking her? It's because of brainwashing. And we have an entirety of the corporate press that's stacked against Donald Trump. And I think that's obvious and apparent. And for me, that's, there's a million reasons why I'm supporting Donald Trump in this election, but that's one of the biggest ones, just on principle, that I don't want to live in a world where we have, the media completely constructing a reality and setting the window of accepted thought. So for me, a vote for Trump is a vote just against the media, among other things. But
if that debate had not happened, I fully expect that Joe Biden would still be running. His team would still be acting like there is nothing wrong with him, that you are being misled if you are watching videos of him appearing to seem disoriented or needing help getting around. They would still be saying those videos have been altered or clipped in an unfair way. They would be pretending everything is fine. Karine Jean-Pierre would be pretending everything is fine. Kamala Harris would be pretending everything is fine. He would be nominated at the convention. Then people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is our candidate, when he tried to give a speech. They would have done a debate afterward, but it would have been too late to swap him out. I bet Donald Trump partly regrets having done that debate prior to Biden actually being the nominee. Maybe he didn't imagine, and I don't blame him for that, because I did not think they would actually switch out Biden. I didn't think he would go. I didn't think they could make him. But finally, they put enough pressure to have him do it. I bet there's regret that they did the debate before before it was official.
I would imagine. And like you said, it's not as if anyone could predict that. But of course, hindsight, that does seem like, a thing that probably was less in the favor of Trump's chances of winning. But at the end of the day, it's I think it's important for people to note that the strategy, both for when they ran Biden and now for Kamala, is to hide their candidate as much as humanly possible. A lot of people are rightfully upset about the fact that Kamala has participated in zero media interviews since she became the de facto, nomination here. And if the assassination on, President Donald Trump had been successful, I think it's worth noting that we'd be living in a reality where both candidates from either side receive no votes to be there. And that's not the America I want to live in. I don't think that's the way the system is intended to be. And it's a pretty dark thought, the idea of like there are countries that install candidates, right? And for me, it can sound conspiratorial, it can sound extreme, it can sound like I'm paranoid, but it feels as if in the air there's this energy of they're trying to test and see if they're able to just start installing candidates because it's not as if there's no genuine momentum for Kamala. I think it could probably be described as a relief from Democrats that, like, okay, we have someone, right? Because they were left feeling like they had no one when they saw Biden's ability and the party was completely demoralized. So I think the bubble of excitement she's having right now is just their idea of like, okay, we have a person that can do this possibly rather than none. But no one can even really cite what she stands for. I mean, all the way down to the fact that she doesn't have any policies listed on her website, which to me seems disqualifying. What are you bargaining for with America right now? What is the offer to Americans to vote for you? Uh, and then I think the popularity she has is completely uh, removed from reality in the sense of they're not actually excited about policy or what she's going to do in office. Yesterday at a rally, she was saying she's going to lower prices and work on inflation. And she's been in office for 4 years and she's currently in office. Some may even say she's acting sort of as the de facto president right now because they don't have faith in Biden's ability to make any decisions. It's a really, really unshaky time. And I think back to the past two elections, I think Americans are kind of in this cycle of just expecting some sort of national trauma to occur every election, whether it's lockdowns last time, mail-in votes. A lot of people on the right don't like how that election went down. 2016, this year feels even scarier than the last two. And I hope that whatever comes with the election, we start to sort of recalibrate and just expect better from our candidates and our parties that are supposed to support democracy when in fact they're installing candidates right now.
And expect better from our media. We will be back with more
Yes.
Rising in just a minute, and we'll have the rest of this interview available over the weekend. You can tune in then.